these. There's some Indians in here. If you guys know, ruabza was in every Indian person's house. It's a quite refreshing drink. You would mix it with water or milk on ice, cold water. So when you reached out to me, I'm like, I want to like mix something that was my favorite in India and mix it with something that's favorite here, which is gin.
I've always had ruafza, but for people who are not from India, would you like to share what ruafza has, as in what are the ingredients?
Yeah, I will go through all of it. So ruafza is basically a sweet syrup, and it contains rose, orange, carrot, coriander. It's very aromatic, so it's very refreshing, and aromas are like it's very floral. So I'm like, it'll be perfect with a cocktail. So we kind of messed around, and I'm like, and we were just talking to our friend who dropped us a bottle of Glendula Rose gin, and I'm like, this will be perfect because one of the main thing about ruafza is rose. So the Glendula gin rose, it is from Ireland, and it has 3 varieties of rose infused in it. And so those 3 roses are heritage rose, damask rose, and one more, wild rose. And it is absolutely beautiful spirit, and it just goes really well with it. So we're going to be using this gin, and we're also going to be using the ruafza. So I'm going to give you alternatives right now. So if you don't have this gin at home, that's totally fine. You can grab any gin that you have in your cabinet, and if you have rose water, you can add a bit of this rose water to give that little rose influence in it. But if not, that's okay. And if you don't have ruafza, if you have grenadine, you can use that, but it's not going to be ruafza, so that rose water will really help. If not, we've done syrups with like hibiscus or rose tea. You can actually make a syrup out of a 1-to-1 ratio with sugar and steep tea, and then you can have something like floral for your drink with the gin, and it'll be fantastic anyhow. So we're going to start with 1.5, so ounce and a half of the gin, Glendula Rose gin, or any gin you have at home.
Achal is asking us, would Empress gin be good with this?
Sorry, what other gin would be good with this?
The Empress gin.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Empress gin. Oh yeah, we have that one too.
Empress gin. Also, if you're into like local gin too, Noteworthy gin, that's in Oliver. It's an orange bottle. It's very floral, and it's absolutely amazing. But even if you have Bombay or Tanqueray, those would still work as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, and then we're gonna do 0.5 Aperol. And then we're going to do 3/4, so 0.75 Rosa. I can already smell it as she's pouring it. It smells amazing. And then we're going to we did fresh squeezed lemon juice. Now you can either fresh squeeze your lemons, or you can do concentrate, but I really recommend fresh squeeze because it's so much better, and the bitterness is not there with the concentrate. And so over here she's going to be using, I'm going to be, you probably can't, it's called Better Bitters Mount Fuji. This company is local Vancouver company, and they do bitters. Bitters are kind of like, we call it like the salt and pepper of cocktails. They just enhance the flavors of the cocktail. So this particular one has burdock, chrysanthemums, yuzu, kind of like Japanese flavors, and it's just lovely in this drink. You can go, we can provide you with a link with Miss Better Bitters, and they have so many different flavors, and it just enhances your cocktails like a step further. If not, then if at a local bar shop, if you have some bitters there that you want to mess around with, go ahead, because bitters are awesome to have. I'm just going to top that with ice there to give it a little shake. Now, if you don't have shakers at home, if you have a blender bottle for like protein shakes, that will do too.
Oh, okay. That's interesting, because I was just going to ask you, if I don't have a shaker, what do I do?
Yeah. We use like protein shakers.
Protein shakers, and then you can just put ice and you can just shake it vigorously.
I have to say that I don't have a shaker and I've been using my water bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works too.
Yeah.
Actually, my boyfriend has been using the water bottle.
I'm gonna get him a shaker.
And my water is just gonna taste like alcohol from now.
We're fine with it.
Oops.
So she will just top that up. Look at the beautiful color. There we go.
Color, it's beautiful.
It's kind of like a pinky peach color. And she's gonna top that up with soda water, which we kind of just made with our soda stream at home. You get any soda water, Perrier even. And here we have it. So it's a spritz. So the drink's called Ruh Afza Spritz. And we dehydrated some lemon, and now she's just topping that up with a dehydrated lemon and dried rose petals.
You can just pull it up right there.
Wow.
Wow, that looks
And I'll
amazing.
do that
Oh
right.
my god, that looks so good. That's a beautiful.
I'll get the top view of that cocktail.
I wish we were actually there with Gunjan and Chiara. And
So this-
It looks phenomenal. It's like summer in a glass.
Yeah.
That does look like summer in a glass. The
I'll
color.
post a picture, and so that way you guys can get.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do something refreshing for summer, and it's refreshing. It's delicious. All right.
The color is really from the Ruh Afza, right? Like it brings that
Yeah.
red color. So that's awesome. Is there a substitute for Ruh Afza?
The one that I was telling you about, you can either do grenadine with a little bit of a rose water.
Okay.
Rose is so like unique
Yeah.
own, but you can. So if you're looking for rosa, you can go to any like Indian stores, Indian grocery stores, or superstore in like ethnic aisle. They sometimes carry it too. I looked up on Amazon and it was ridiculously expensive, so don't go there. I was trying to find you sources, but really you can get that for like $5 at an Indian store, and they have them in bulks. Because I went in, I was like rosa, and it was like a whole roll. And so apparently it's still popular in Indian
Oh,
homes.
that's amazing. I think that's the beauty of living in Canada, right? There's so much diversity,
Totally.
Yeah.
so much variety because of that.
Well, it's awesome because like we travel and then we like go to different places and we're like, wow, we go to cocktail. We make a point of going to all the cocktail bars where we travel to.
Yeah.
And then we get all these flavors that we've never gotten before. So we're like, when we get back home, like we want to like recreate this cocktail. And then we just literally go on a verge of like finding these ingredients. And sometimes it's easy. Sometimes
It's
you
not.
eventually find it though. Like there's always like for like when we went to Philippines, we wanted to use some like pandan and things like that.
Yeah.
You eventually find some store that will
Have it.
have it,
Yeah.
or like our bartender friends will be like, oh, you can get it there and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So which is our next cocktail? Which is it's a mocktail, right?
Let's
So,
switch.
yeah, so this one is a free-spirited cocktail, as people like to call it now.
Okay, wait. So I'm just gonna shake. Yep. She's got me covered. I've got 2 shakers.
So when we first started dating, she introduced me to mango lassi, and I was like, oh my god, this is delicious. And so whenever we go to an Indian restaurant, I always order it. Another summertime favorite is the pina colada, so I wanted to incorporate both of those together. But instead of using mango, we just use pineapple. And if you don't know, pineapple is actually the universal symbol for hospitality. I literally just got a pineapple tattoo like a couple days ago. So it's very personal to our industry for sure. So for this cocktail, it's called the tropical lassi. So she's gonna start off by muddling 6 to 8 pieces of fresh pineapple, which you can either buy full pineapple or even the canned would be good enough.
And I have a box of mangoes and pineapple juice too. I'm gonna make
Really, yeah. And then next is she's going to add 4 ounces of cucumber juice. So we have a juicer at home. We have juicing parties all the time. If you don't have a juicer, you can actually just use a blender with that sliced up cucumber and then just add a little bit of water and then just sift it after, and you get this like beautiful green color over here. And then just to sweeten it up a little bit more and add a bit of spice, we made a ginger syrup. So this is just equal parts ginger, equal parts water and sugar. Just heat it up and then let it simmer for a little bit and then just strain it out.
And that's 0.5.
Yeah, 1 ounce. Perfect. And then the ingredient to bind it all together is coconut milk. So we cook a lot of curry at home, so we always have cans of coconut milk available. So that's 2 ounces. And she's going to top it up with ice. And shake it like a Polaroid. And then she's just going to strain it into this tall cordial glass, and she's going to leave a bit of the pineapple pulp in there just for texture as well.
Oh, look at that.
That looks amazing. Wow.
Let's make it look so easy.
Yeah, right?
I'm going to garnish it with a pineapple frond and then a dehydrated pineapple.
So
This is so easy.
Rahul is asking what kind of coconut milk is the best and how do you choose?
What did we use, like the full?
We've got like organic coconut. It's called Everland, the company. And so it's called Everland, but you can use any coconut milk that you can get at your Asian stores, really. But the ones in the can for like the curry, not the coconut beverage that you get to like make to put in your coffee, but actually like the thick with the like milk, like actual one.
Yeah.
So that will give you the refreshing and the thickness and that
Texture.
lassi texture. Yeah.
Wow, that looks really nice. Thank you for sharing these two recipes. That looks amazing. So, but you make it seem so easy as Achal said. It's gonna be so difficult if we going to try to make it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Honestly, it takes practice. I mean, we've been doing this a lot. This would be, I think, our third Zoom thing. But I mean, we were beginners, as well too. So.
Yeah, I would like to ask you, we did speak about diversity and diversity is our strength. How has it been working in this industry as a diverse voice and being women? What kind of unique perspective do you think you bring to the table, or in this case, to the bar?
I think, diversity is like huge in the hospitality industry. Like we work with many diverse people. We see, through guests and all that. And like the connection to being behind the bar is just influences. Like we travel a lot and we're always constantly like picking up things in different places. And we were just discussing, when people say like, oh, Canadian food, like what is Canadian food? It's everything. Like we have the best Japanese food here. We have the best Indian food here.
Well, and in order to be authentic and true to the flavors, it has to come from actual where the food's from. It has to be the Japanese chef who's lived in Japan, or Indian food who's people who have so it's like all these flavors that come from all different parts of the world. That's what makes Vancouver's cuisine, and that's what those ingredients are, the things that makes the beverages. So because of that alone, they need those people to be in this industry. So, and hence why our industry is so diverse, and especially at this time where people just need like variety. We are used to eating different things all the time. Like we cannot just eat one thing anymore. So we are definitely spoiled. And as a woman, it's been a long road. Like we've been here like in this industry over 10 years, right? So things have changed immensely. In the beginning, I have felt in certain places, women may have not been respected, but then on the opposite side, women have been respected, they've been encouraged to take up the high positions or learn or be behind the bar, because bar used to be a very masculine place. And that's not the case. We have like women winning like world competitions on bartending from Vancouver, making a mark and winning competitions. She won a competition for Stoli, which got us to travel to Key West, Florida to compete, which was awesome. Yeah. So there's so many opportunities now in this sector alone. Yeah. And it's endless.
We did speak about you coming to Canada, and that was like a huge transition for you. And there was kind of phrases and words that were so new to you. I would actually, open this discussion to all our other participants and ask them if they have encountered certain words that were new to them when they came to Canada, and how did they react to that? Would you like to share any experience, Gunjan?
Well, I have some like idioms, like some of the things that I didn't get, like Bob's your uncle. Like I was like, what does that mean? What Bob is? I have a Bojinder who's an uncle, but not a Bob. But usually, and then she was the one who told me.
Yeah, I think I was telling her how to make a drink. So I was like, 2 ounces of this, 3 ounces of this, put it in a shaker, shake it, and Bob's your uncle. And she's like, who? Like, who's Bob? Like, no, that's kind of another way of saying like, and here you have it. So that's like a funny one.
Yeah, and then for the longest time, I thought it was ride and die. And I was like, I just never gave it a thought until somebody corrected me, like, it's ride or die. And I'm like, oh, why? I guess it's because
like your best friend, someone that would go through everything with you. And I was like, well, why would you ride and die? It's one or the other. So
Ride or that's true.
I was like, ride and die. And I thought it was like cute because I thought it was like I think I heard it on like in like a rap song or something. What else?
Two peas.
Oh, 2 peas in a pod. Pod. I thought it was 2 peas in a pot. I thought they're like it's like a dish.
It's pod, like a pea pod. Yeah.
Can you believe it? I recently found that out.
Yeah, that was literally like probably a week ago. Yeah. Or just like little slangs, like she didn't know, like when you say like get her done, like ER done.
I'm like, who's her?
Yeah.
Why is she getting it done? Yeah, it's my job. So yeah, things like that. Anyone else has anything to share?
I have something. I didn't know for the longest time crossing T's and dotting your I, what the hell that meant.
Oh yeah. I always say that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, you always cross your T's and dot. Like, why is that a phrase? I don't get it. Yeah, so that's mine.
I have one. I was working at Tim Hortons and I was at a tel, and a guy came up to me and he was like, so I finished his order and then he said, you can give me a loonie. And I was like, what? I just kept staring at him. Like, that's not on our menu. What is this? and then he went beyond. He's like, I can do with a toonie as well. I'm like, oh my God, no, what is a toonie? That's also not on our menu. What is he talking about?
I think that's a pretty common one for even like not just newcomers, but even when we get people visiting from the States, they have no idea what's loony and toonie. Yeah. Like,
I was so stunned. I was like, what is this? And then someone came in and helped me, and then she said, loony is like $1 and toonie is $2. I said, okay, then why didn't you just say $1?
Say it.
We just like slangs.
Yeah.
I noticed you guys have your drinks out.
Someone else want to share?
Yeah, it's me. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I noticed you guys have your drinks out first. Now that everyone has a drink and you guys have some, let's do a cheers. Thank you for doing the show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, drinks up, everybody.
Bring it closer to the screen,
There you
guys.
go. Whoa, jeez, Bianca, what is that? Cheers, everybody.
Anybody else have any funny thing to share about their experience in Canada? Rahul, do you? Rahul,
Rahul should have a lot, no?
Oh man, I can't stop talking about it because I have lots of funny moments from Indian movies that I always refer to in India, but that does not make sense here at all because we don't know that those dialogues. And also on top of it, when I was with your example, Priyanka, since you mentioned about currency coins, so when I was learning about different sorts of coins here, so I was like, because I'm used to certain coins being larger in size because of their number or denominations being larger as well. But here I see that a 10-cent coin is smaller than a 5-cent coin. So it got me confused. Why is the 10-cent coin so small?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it would initially make it harder for me to count all those how much do I have because of that size thing.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that I have, but apart from that, I don't know if any of those dialogues would make any point here.
I think a few of the words that I learned here was one was toque, like toque
Yeah.
for a hat,
Yeah.
and what else? I have this. It's not like a word, but I have this. So everyone is so courteous here, and I come from, like, especially in public transports, everyone, like, wants lets everyone else go first, and I'm not used to that. I come from Mumbai, which is like super crowded, and you don't let anyone else get into that bus or the train, right? You go in first. So there was this incident where, we were waiting for the bus and the bus came in and the doors open and there were these two ladies who kept telling each other, no, you go first. Then the other lady said, no, you go first. And then the first lady said, no, you go first. I'm like, what the hell is happening here? Why can't they just go in? So I was like, I looked at both of them and I just like zoomed past them, and right in between I went inside the bus and they both kept looking at me like, what kind of audacity this girl has. And then I realized that they were just being courteous. I'm like, oh, oops, sir. It's the bus, I will just go.
Yeah.
that is
Sorry for everything.
Yeah.
I think for me, like coming from Canada, coming to America, if I say like, let's get some pop, they're like, what's pop? I'm like, it's like pop, Coke, Sprite. They're like, what's pop? No, soda. It's called soda. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's such a big difference. Like I didn't expect that. We're in the same continent. Relax.
Yeah.
But
Or even just terms like a Mickey, like a pocket Mickey. Mickey is a Canadian term. So when you're in the States, let's get a Mickey of vodka. They're like, Mickey, like what are you talking about? Or same thing like as a 2-4. They don't use those terms there, which is like, okay.
Yeah, and then like, where the hell are you from?
Yeah.
They get all suspicious.
like they don't have Caesars. They only have Bloody Marys. They have no idea what a Caesar is. They don't even have that, like the juice, the Clamato juice, right?
Yeah.
We can't even import that.
I have a question for Gaurang. Gaurang, did you find anything funny when you moved to Canada? Or strange?
No, not a word as per se, but one of my friend had this work colleague. He had this habit of responding to anything which he agreed with, saying 100%. And I realized that's a very Canadian thing to say, like 100%. It's no one else or anywhere else they say this. It's like if you want to agree, you say 100%.
99.9%.
Covering my bases here.
Yeah.
This fuzzy joy is, I don't know what is on the screen, maybe the ceiling that we don't see your face. And Cindy, do you want to share something?
Oh, that's Fez.
That's it.
Oh, okay. Cindy, would you like to share?
Sure. Actually, my mom's from Nova Scotia, Canada, so I'm a dual citizen. I spent my summers in Nova Scotia, and I'm sorry, I forget her name. Oh, is it Ancha? I can't pronounce your name.
Yeah.
I can relate to what you're saying because I would call soda tonic, and they're like, that's hair tonic. And they called it pop, of course, and they would call lollipop suckers. And of course, everything was A, but It was interesting because we were definitely, not speaking the same language. But I thoroughly enjoyed my summers there, though. It was just all farmland and it was beautiful.
Lynn, did you find anything different? There are some differences in the East Coast and the West Coast as well, right?
Absolutely. The food is totally different first. It's more European oriented. But also I find talking about language, I remember at the beginning when people say, I'm going to hit the road. I say, I hope he won't hurt himself. or something like, I'm off work. Were you on? So those kind of things. So I learned, it was kind of funny because sometimes, because I'm French, as you can hear my accent. So sometimes people was saying words, and then I said, what do you mean? And they would look at me so weird because they say, how come I don't know that, But I still ask questions and I still learn things, and Idaho is very interesting to learn. But I learned something lately, but I totally forgot about it. It's very weird, Idaho. I hope I will recall it, so I can talk to you next time.
Coming back to Gunjan and Chiara, and coming back to the drinks, has there been ever an incident where the drink totally went wrong from your side, but someone really liked it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think part of bartending is to kind of like we're chefs basically, and we've definitely made some terrible cocktails and some really great cocktails, but we have the freedom because we've both worked in a hotel. We have a ton of resources, so we do get a lot of guests who say, make me something off the menu, and normally that's like the best case scenario. But I've definitely made some drinks where I like strain it out and I'm like, oh, okay, and I just hand it to them and they're like, wow, this is delicious. I'm like, okay then.
Or times when like the server drops off the wrong order to another table, and it was a specific order, and they were just like, oh, this is the best drink ever. This is the best Aperol Spritz. And I'm like, that was not an Aperol Spritz. you just go with it, right? You're like, okay.
Yeah.
Did you end up keeping those recipes, or you're like, nah?
Maybe a couple times I made it twice for the guest, and then after that, just like out of sight, out of mind. Like,
yeah. Right. How often do you create like a new recipe that, are you always playing around
We do. Like, we have an extensive list, and at my work, I'm one of the bar leads there. So we try and change it seasonally. So I would say at least 3 or 4 times a year, and kind of stick with what's in season. We try and support local as much as we can as well. And then obviously we get a lot of influences from our travels. Like New York is one of our favorite places to go to, and our favorite cocktail bar, the Dead Rabbit, is there. So if you're ever there, you have to try their Irish coffee. It is phenomenal. Yeah.
What is your favorite country or city for the most diverse drinks that you were like, oh, I learned the most?
New York.
Yeah.
New York.
Oh wow. Okay.
There's hands down. New York is the best so far.
Yeah. There's a lot of different boroughs that have different. It's very diverse, like there. So there's a lot of like what do you call it? Like influences from all over. I think like there you can go to an Irish bar there and have an amazing cocktail. You can go to an Italian bar and have a great one there too. So we have a lot of books there. My brother lives there, so every time that we do go, we're always trying to go to different cocktail bars there as well. So.
Right. And what's your like the most popular drink that is it the ones you created today, or are there?
I think bars from New York.
I love it.
Steph and Co. So so these are professional bartenders. They've written cocktails. Their menus are just here, and then a little bit about cocktails and flavors and things like that. So they're pretty good reads if you guys ever wanted to do. So Dead Rabbit is our favorite bar.
Yeah.
You can also give there's cocktail books are awesome.
Yeah.
Liquid Intelligent is a very good book. It goes in the depth of making cocktails and flavors.
Sorry, back to your question. I think the most popular drink or cocktails right now is definitely anything that's gin based. BC has like the perfect background for like foraging all these amazing botanicals to create gin. And I would say within the last 5-6 years, like it is blown up. And like I mentioned, Noteworthy is a really good gin. If you're ever on the island, Sheringham Gin, they make a gin there, and they use organic kelp, so you kind of get that sea brininess flavor profile to it. So if you love dirty martinis, like those are fantastic.
What are the places in Vancouver that you would recommend?
Kiefer Bar.
Yeah, Kiefer Bar.
Kiefer Bar on Kiefer Street, and then what else? Diamond.
Yeah,
in
Diamond.
Gastown, they're very cocktail forward.
Poorhouse.
Yeah, Poorhouse has got that New York vibe. L'Abattoir, that one's amazing.
I'll give a shout out to our friend Dylan. If you ever go to Bricks and Mortar, our friend Dylan, he is part of the Miss Betters company, and we actually worked with him at the Westin Bayshore as well, and he is on another level. Like, he is incredible. We constantly talk to him for cocktails and things like that.
Advice.
So, yeah. So if you're ever there, go sit at the bar and talk to him.
So for someone who wants to get into bartending, what would you recommend? Which school would you recommend to go to, or how should they start learning about bartending?
To be honest, when I first started bartending, I took a bartending class, and because there are so many ways to make a cosmopolitan, a Moscow Mule, a Caesar, every bar or restaurant will have their own specs. So to be honest, I don't recommend going to those. We were just saying reading a lot of books is good, and honestly, just sitting at the bar at your favorite restaurant. Like, we hardly ever sit at a table. We always sit at the bar, and we're constantly talking to bartenders about, technique, knowledge and things like that. So
also, like, if you really want to become a bartender, I would suggest just getting into a restaurant. You may not get to be bartender right away. You might start off as a host position, but just your interest and your dedication towards it, you will eventually end up moving up to it. And if you get into it right away, take that opportunity, because that's awesome.
Would you recommend the same route for someone who has been bartending in another country and has moved to Canada now? Just like get a job with a restaurant and try and, work your way up?
Totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think it's very, like, it's so universal, right?
Yeah.
When, ingredients are universal. Once you have the bartending hand, like, it's like a chef, right? So, as long as you understand, if you don't feel comfortable right away going behind the bar, like I said, you can start off as a hosting position and get to know the restaurant a little bit, culture of that restaurant, start from bottom, or if you just want barbacks, great way to learn, because you're just basically bartender's right-hand man or woman. Barbacks is great, or you can just go right in it and just immerse yourself and learn.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Does anyone else has a question that they would like to ask?
I have a question. For those who doesn't drink alcohol, is there like a mocktail that you would recommend that they can really enjoy?
Other than this one that we just made?
Yeah, so this is
Okay.
I think when we think of non-alcoholic cocktails, the biggest thing is syrups, because that's what your base flavor will be. And we are big tea drinkers, so making teas are really good. Yuzu, which is like a Japanese citrus, is quite popular right now. You do see it in a lot of cocktails. So if you make a syrup with that, with soda and a bit of lemon juice and muddled cucumber, is fantastic.
So basically, you can make a syrup with anything.
Yeah.
It's 1-to-1. 1 part water, 1 part sugar. So if you just do half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water, and you want to add flavors to it, you can add anything. You can add ginger, you can add, cloves or anything like that. Or if you want to do herbs, you can blanch the herbs, and you can do a basil syrup. And then just with that syrup, you can add a little bit of citrus to it, and soda and ice or tonic, and then boom, you have a spritzer. That's an easy go. And then you can make a bunch of syrup, and you can put it in the fridge, and you can either use that in cocktails or non-alc. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So if our audience wants to get in touch with you or find you in any bar, or where would we go? How would we get in touch with you?
The best would be through our Instagram, which is Universe's Cocktail. That would be the best. And then once we do start going, I will be behind the bar at the West Bay Shore at the H Tasting Lounge, slinging drinks there. So hopefully soon. We're preparing right now. So
I work part-time at the Union on Union Street, so you can find me there over on the weekends whenever they decide to bring us back. So industry slowly opening up, and yeah, you can see us there.
Achal is asking if you also bartend for private parties.
oh yeah, we do. We absolutely do.
We've done events before, yeah.
And we can reach you through the Instagram account for that.
Exactly. You just send us a message, and then we can talk about the details and things like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions from the group? No? I think we do have about 7 minutes left. Priyanka, do we want to wrap it up and just do finish off with few announcements for our future events?
Yeah, we should. First of all, thank you, Gunjan and Chiara. Thank you for sharing all your knowledge and all your insights about bartending. Those are really helpful, especially for people who are coming to Canada and trying to establish themselves maybe as bartenders and bringing in an ingredient like ruafza maybe and creating a drink. So hopefully that happens. So thank you so much, and thank you for your entire setup that you have put together to make this event a huge success.
Thank you for having us. It was awesome to do.
Yeah, it's a beautiful setup. We enjoyed it so much. Thank you very much again. And hopefully we can have you again be part of our event in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. In-person summer drink session. Yeah, now that things are opening up, we can totally plan that. Maybe we can keep it for like few people and keeping social distancing.
Yeah.
And sleeping.
Exactly. Thank you so much.
Yeah, what do we have next, Leila? Do you want to share about the Career Connect program that we have, part of Community Tree?
Yeah, for sure. So, we also recognize that it's really important for newcomers to start their career in Canada, get into the job and the profession that they're really passionate about and also skilled in. So we have a program called Career Connect, which we have launched to support newcomers end to end in their job search journey. So currently we are offering part of that Career Connect program. We have career coaches that are very much an expert in providing support and creating the best resume that will get you, the interview that you desire. So if you're looking for that resume support, we are offering today for a limited time the discount for 50% off for these resume help session. So please check out in the chat where we will provide that link where you can redeem the discount for that resume help session.
And keep following us on our social media handles. We are very active on Instagram, we are active on Facebook, and also on LinkedIn. In fact, our next session, which is on July 2nd, is about LinkedIn, because a lot of newcomers like myself as well, who we don't know how to make the most of LinkedIn. How to build your profile and how to write everything in your profile, and how to project yourself as a brand on your LinkedIn profile. So we are going to help all our participants with that on July 2nd. Then we have a hiking event coming up, which is on July 25th. We'll all maintaining social distancing and maintaining all the protocols, following all the restrictions. We will be taking to a local hike near Vancouver. Then we have another event planned, which is about how to prepare yourself for interviews. So most of the times we have questions like, how do you present yourself in an interview? What are the most asked questions? Or even what to wear for a particular interview. So we will have all those questions answered on August 13th. So keep in touch and keep signing for our events, and keep meeting us.
And there is a survey link that we would love to hear from you or how you felt about today's event. So click on the link in the chat section to fill out a survey. Give us feedback on what else you would like to see from us. Like Priyanka mentioned, we have lots of new things coming up. So, we would like to hear more from you of what else you would like to see in terms of events and how we can support you to make your transition easier to settle into the new country you're in. So yeah, with that said, thank you so much for joining today. Again, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and our to see what else is coming up. And we're also looking for new people to join our organization. So feel free to shoot us a message if you're interested in learn more about Community Tree. But other than that, thank you so much and hope to see you in our future events again. And thank you to the Community Tree team for putting the event together today. And thanks again to our guests for being here today.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.